It's official. Karoline Leavitt has done the unthinkable. She won. The irony is delicious. Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and the rest of the View panel spent years mocking conservatives as conspiracy theorists. Yet it turns out they've been dead wrong about nearly everything. After months of courtroom theatrics, viral mayhem, and desperate damage control by ABC's top brass, Karoline Leavitt pulled off the unimaginable. She won her $800 million defamation lawsuit against The View, yes. You read that right. The once untouchable daytime juggernaut has suffered the most devastating blow in its history. Whoopi, Joy, Sunny, all stunned, their credibility shattered, their network now spiraling into full-blown crisis. And Karoline, she didn't just win. She changed the entire game. This wasn't just a personal victory. This was a cultural earthquake. The moment someone finally stood up to legacy media and declared, no more so. How did it all unfold? How did Karoline flip a viral media ambush into an $800 million legal earthquake? Buckle up, because this ride is a roller coaster. And what you're about to hear might just change the way you see daytime TV forever, like most media meltdowns involving The View. It started innocently enough. A smirk, a condescending glance, and a jab, so polished it. Could have been scripted. Karoline Leavitt knew exactly what she was walking into when she entered that studio, a minefield, an arena where conservative women weren't heard. They were mocked still. She went. Confident, prepared. Calm, she came to discuss national defense, civic engagement, and serious policy. The mission: deliver facts. Speak with clarity. Hold her ground. What she got instead was a live ambush disguised as daytime banner. It started with Joy Behar. She leaned forward, narrowed her eyes, and launched her attack. Sarcasm dripping from every word. Come on. Karoline's not here for her intellect. Trump probably just thinks she's attending the studio. Didn't chuckle. It asterisk erupted applause. Snickers. Mocking grins. It wasn't comedy. It was character assassination. Then Sunny Hostin piled on. Without missing a beat, let's be honest. This isn't about qualifications. She's just a poster child for privilege, a brutal, coordinated attack. And just when it seemed it couldn't get worse, Whoopi Goldberg leaned back, arms crossed, and dropped a fatal blow. If it weren't for wokeness, you wouldn't even have a job boom. That was it. The moment that lit the fuse. Within hours, clips flooded the internet. Hashtags like hashtag Karoline setup and The View unhinged asterisk trended across platforms. But Karoline, no rants, no tearful Instagram lives, no reactive Twitter thread. She adjusted her blazer, sipped her water, smiled. I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past, then politely thanked them for their time as they cut to commercial. And the second the camera stopped rolling, she made a call that would flip the script forever. She dialed her legal team. The headlines hit like a thunderclap. Karoline Leavitt sues The View for $800 million. ABC in crisis after explosive defamation lawsuit. Conservative powerhouse drops legal bombshell on daytime TV. This wasn't a Twitter spat. This was where Leavitt's legal team didn't just fire off vague accusations. They came armed with receipts, transcripts, filed, unedited footage, even off-air moments with snickers and high fives, filed, internal Slack chats showing producers plotting to provoke her live on air, filed. The most damning evidence? Pre-show production notes containing one devastating line. Asterisk. Let Joy open with the looks jab. Whoopi will end it with a dagger. Asterisk. There it was. The smoking gun. Proof this wasn't spontaneous conversation. It was a coordinated hit job. ABC executives were blindsided. The legal team scrambled. Public relations teams pulled all-nighters. Suspension talks began swirling behind closed doors. Even some insiders quietly admitted, asterisk, this isn't just a PR nightmare. This is an implosion. Asterisk, the timing couldn't have been worse. Elsewhere, the Democrat narrative machine was already under fire. After figures like Tim Walz and Kamala Harris outrageously labeled Trump rally-goers Nazis, the climate was already combustible. And then Karoline lit the match. She wasn't just a guest who got smeared anymore. She was a woman who forced daytime media to face consequences. Behind The View's glossy veneer, chaos reigned. Insiders say the first to crack was Whoopi Goldberg herself, the titan who once shrugged off scandals like lint. This time, she was rattled. Word is, Whoopi quietly reached out to a mutual connection with ties to Karoline, whispering for a discreet meeting. Asterisk, we don't have to let this get worse. Asterisk, but it already had. Joy Behar, fiery on camera but frantic behind the scenes, personally contacted Karoline's lawyers, asking if there was any way to settle quietly. Allegedly, she even floated the idea of a public apology. As for Sunny Hostin, the only lawyer at the table knew the stakes, and she knew them fast. Sources say Sunny immediately hired her own separate legal counsel, fearing personal liability. She even asked multiple times, if she could be removed from the lawsuit altogether. Meanwhile, Karoline's camp? Steady, calm. They didn't just hold the line. They pressed the advantage. It's almost poetic, isn't it? The same women who mocked Karoline for her supposed privilege were scrambling to cover their own careers. The hypocrisy was deafening, especially when you consider The View and ABC as a whole has spent years championing diversity, equity, and inclusion (DI), a system obsessed with representation over merit. Yet here they were, sneering that Karoline supposedly got her job for being attractive. ABC's boardroom descended into chaos. Emergency meetings, executives clashing frantic debates about settlements, apologies, even whispers of the unthinkable, canceling The View entirely ***. What was once the crown jewel of ABC's daytime lineup had become its most radioactive asset. And Karoline? She simply smiled and watched them burn. That word, cancellation, was first whispered during a midnight huddle between top legal brass and the crisis PR team. But whispers don't stay whispers for long. Staff overheard. Texts leaked. Twitter lit up like a fuse. The View, once a daytime titan, was now a liability with a logo. And Karoline? She didn't flinch, didn't waver. Her legal team dropped a one-sentence bomb that echoed across Hollywood. Accountability cannot be negotiated. ***, boom. That's when the game changed. While The View hoped an apology might soften the blow, Karoline made it crystal clear. They were going all the way. And then it happened. The showdown everyone had been bracing for. Courtroom lights, media swarms, cameras flashing, crowds packed in like it was red carpet night. This wasn't just a trial. It was Karoline Leavitt versus The View, a cultural earthquake. And let me tell you, it felt more like the Emmys in a lawsuit. Karoline entered like a storm wrapped in silk, navy suit, composed expression, not a single hair out of line. No entourage, no theatrics, just control. She took her seat, folded her hands, waited. Across the aisle, total contrast. The host looked shattered. Whoopi Goldberg, once embodiment bravado, wore dark glasses indoors, no eye contact, shoulders stiff, hands trembling. Next to her, Joy Behar, ashen and tight-lipped. Not a single wisecrack. Not even a nervous one Sunny Hostin shuffled legal documents in her lap like they were prayer beads. Despite her legal credentials, her face screamed panic. Then the trial began. Karoline's team didn't waste a second. They opened with footage, a slow-motion montage of the segment in question. It was brutal, clip after clip, insult after insult, mockery layered like bricks in a wall of humiliation. The courtroom fell to a hush. Every breath, every fidget, amplified by the tension. Then came the receipts, emails, Slack messages, meeting notes. One document filled the courtroom screen in bold type. We need a viral moment. Karoline's a target today. ***, gasps filled the room. The judge paused. Jurors glanced at each other in disbelief. One covered her mouth. Another shook his head. And then the icing on the cake, a leaked voice memo from producer after the show. We got what we needed. She cracked, ***, only she hadn't. Karoline just sat there, unmoved, unbothered, watching it all unfold like a film she knew by heart. Whoopi's head slowly sank. Joy reached for her water, but didn't drink. Sunny couldn't stop fidgeting. The truth was inescapable. This wasn't misunderstanding. It was a *** takedown. And Karoline, she wasn't just winning. She was rewriting the rules. Then came the moment of truth. Courtroom packed. Media outside. Reporters scribbling. Karoline sat calm, hands folded. Whoopi, Joy, Sunny motionless. The jury filed in, faces unreadable. The four-person rose, turned to the judge, and delivered the verdict. On the count of defamation, we find the defendants liable. ***, boom. That single word sent a shockwave through the building. But it wasn't over. ABC and the View co-hosts were ordered to pay a jaw-dropping $800 million in damages. Let that sink in. $800 million. This wasn't just a loss. It was a reckoning. The internet exploded. Twitter melted down. TikTok lit up with edits and reaction videos. YouTubers streamed live responses. Some even cried on camera. Hashtags flew. Hashtag Karoline wins. Hashtag The View on trial. Hashtag media reckoning. Hashtag WhoopiWreck. Hashtag cancel The View anchors couldn't believe it. One even said live on air. We just witnessed the most expensive talk show mistake in TV history. And Karoline. No gloating. No giddy speech. She stood, thanked her team, smiled at the flashbulbs, and walked out like a boss. The View wasn't just covering the news anymore. They were the headline. Meanwhile, across the country, conservative circles buzzed. The most divisive and disgusting speech any president has given. Karoline had warned in earlier interviews, criticizing the political climate. She pointed out how putting America first wasn't radical. It was common sense. And that ideology, putting country before globalist interests, was exactly why she resonated with so many Americans. And now, she wasn't just resonating. She was winning. The morning after the verdict, absolute chaos inside ABC headquarters. Panic hit a whole new level. Sources say top advertisers, some of the biggest global brands, pulled out within hours. PR teams were drowning. Legal departments were working around the clock. Executives were reportedly locked in heated debates over whether The View should be rebranded or shut down completely. One internal memo leaked to the press captured the mood perfectly. Asterisk, we underestimated this guest. We underestimated this lawsuit. And now we're facing the worst PR crisis in network history. Asterisk stamped urgent. And the hosts? Whoopi hasn't been back on set. Joy's gone completely dark. Sunny? Radio silence. Producers are dodging reporters, canceling interviews. Backstage insiders say the atmosphere feels like a funeral. Meanwhile, Karoline Leavitt is being hailed as a media reform icon. Journalists who once dismissed her as a fringe political influencer are now calling her the asterisk conservative AOC, with receipts. Her social media, on fire. Follower counts surging. Comment sections overflowing with support. One viral tweet summed it up. Asterisk, Karoline didn't just win in court. She won a generation's trust. Asterisk, another post read. Asterisk, the girl who took on daytime TV and won. Asterisk, fans are even turned the moment into merch. T-shirt stamped. Asterisk, 800 million equals silence, asterisk. Stickers reading. Asterisk, next time you mock someone, lawyer up. It's not just support anymore. It's a movement. And while The View scrambles to salvage what's left, Karoline, she's standing taller than ever. Do you want to check this? No, you can't be attractive and smart. Many are now giving Joy the slight benefit of the doubt. Maybe she hadn't read Karoline's full briefing beforehand. Maybe. But even if so, the world saw it now. Clear as day. Karoline was prepared, sharp, and more composed than anyone at that table. And now comes a real question. What happens next? The ripple effects are already shaking the industry. Talk show producers are scrambling to rewrite guest protocols. Legal teams are rushing to train hosts on what not to say. Media executives are holding emergency meetings about tightening the reins on live narratives, because The View made one thing very clear. You can't just say whatever you want anymore and smirk your way through the backlash. Not with Karoline Leavitt in the audience. Not when the silence is finally breaking. And Karoline? She's not shouting. She's not gloating. She's not even slowing down. She's just winning, with receipts, strategy, and a calm voice that rattle one of the loudest platforms on television to its foundation. Let's be honest. This verdict didn't just flip Karoline's world. It flipped everything. Every host. Every producer. Every network. They just got a lesson they won't forget. Words have weight. And now they have consequences. Yes, and as you mentioned with conservative women, there's a long history of resilience. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Kayleigh McEnany, Kellyanne Conway, even Sarah Palin. Women who had to bear the brunt of mockery, caricature, and disdain in their echo chamber. Maybe that kind of treatment flew. But take it outside of that bubble, and now the world sees it. Now it's your turn, asterisk. Was Karoline right to take this fight all the way to court? Did The View finally cross a line that couldn't be walked back? And are we witnessing the start of a brand new era? One where media finally answers for its words? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're reading every single one. And before you bounce, smash that like button if you believe truth still matters. Hit subscribe so you don't miss a single update on this unfolding story. Because Karoline Leavitt just proved something huge. This isn't a punchline anymore. It's a verdict, and The View may never recover. Stay tuned.